Welcome back, y'all. Moondog Investigations. We're gonna take a look at Jared Kushner. You know, is he the Antichrist or is he just creepy as hell? Here's some clips of him. You make the decision.
I came to own the Observer when I found out I was still a student in school, and I was doing a lot of different entrepreneurial activities, and I heard that it was being sold. And so I called the current owner, who eventually, after a lot of perseverance, agreed to sell me the paper. I was very drawn to the brand. I mean, the New York Observer in New York is a very revered name. Obviously, history plays a lot into what I'm trying to accomplish. The New York Observer, in some ways, is a sacred trust to a very important segment of the population. And so there's a great responsibility to them, not only to keep the status quo, but to make it better, to make it more engaging, and to hopefully expand it to more people. There's a responsibility to my staff to work as hard as they do, and to show them that if they're going to put in the time, energy, and devotion, that I'm going to be doing that twofold. And then obviously there's the responsibility to myself, which is to always have fun with it, never let it become something that's a burden, but really never to be satisfied with where we are.
Widely blasted as a nepotism hire due to his marriage to Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner has made some controversial moves as senior advisor to the president. Here's a look at the shady side of Jared Kushner.
It intensified after the George Floyd situation, and you saw a lot of people who were just virtue signaling.
He explained they'd go on Instagram and cry, or they would put a slogan on their jersey or write something on a basketball court. And quite frankly, that was doing more to polarize the country than it was to bring people forward. You solve problems with solutions. This diatribe came while Kushner was speaking about what President Trump has supposedly done for the black community.
President Trump's policies are the policies that can help people break out of the problems that they're complaining about.
What Kushner said next, dubbed a racist stereotype in a New York Times headline, set off a firestorm.
But he can't want them to be successful more than they want to be successful.
Attorney Ben Crump, who represented the families of Floyd and Breonna Taylor, had some words for Trump's advisor, tweeting, "Jared Kushner speaks as if black people are lazy complainers who don't want to be successful. This blatant disrespect shows he has no understanding of the black community and its challenges that have spanned centuries. You can't fix these problems from this level of ego."
He's with him?
That's right. Jared is assigned this portfolio by the White House. Our duty as Saudis is to improve relations with our allies and with all representatives of these institutions.
Help or hurt the peace process?
We try to focus on the efforts that promote peace for all. We do not try to focus on anything that might create tension. It is my nature always to be positive. So, I try to focus on the things that will support the interests of the Palestinian people.
When President Trump first called upon you to advance his efforts to bring peace to the Middle East, all the experts, the so-called experts, belittle your appointment. By the way, I ask you, don't take it personally, they do it to me too. Now, you can say, I can say, how wrong these naysayers were. You can be proud of your contribution to normalizing Israel's relations with the Arab and Muslim worlds and for peace in the Middle East. Mark, can you read this? Somebody? No?
It says,
Yeah.
in recognition of Jared Kushner, Senior Advisor to the President of the United States, for his historic contribution to the Abraham Accords, the normalization of Israel's relations with the Arab and Muslim world, and to peace in the Middle East.
Thank you. You're more short-sighted than me. Thank you.
Tomorrow, we will very proudly advance the Abraham Accords with the first direct commercial flight on El Al from Israel to Morocco. For this breakthrough, I would like to thank my friend, King Mohammed VI, as this will bring about a whole new set of opportunities for Northern Africa and the entire Middle East. To create a lasting and sustainable peace, any deal made must leave all people more secure, free to worship how they choose, and with sustainable opportunity for economic development and prosperity. This is a simple approach, but it was surprisingly controversial when we started because it went against the conventional way of thinking. After 4 years of intense efforts and learnings, I feel even more conviction it is the key to continued success, and there is much more success to be had in the future.
Involves the December 2016 UN resolution that condemned Israel for building settlements in disputed territories. On the matter, tell the Wall Street Journal that Israeli officials then began reaching out to senior transition officials, including Kushner. Now Mueller's investigators 2016 Trump Tower meeting that Kushner attended with a Kremlin lawyer, and a December 2016 meeting with the head of a Russian state-owned bank that was sanctioned by the U.S. Then there are the two other meetings he disclosed with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. Kushner has also had an issue disclosing foreign contacts on his federal disclosure forms. He's had to update the list 3 separate times, adding more than 100 people who had previously been left off.
So, Peter Baker, officials, maybe they're looking to back that up to see whether that checks out. Was, in fact, Jared Kushner, an envoy to all sorts of foreign officials, or was there something unusual about the amount of contact he had with Russians?
Carol Lee, he has quite a few enemies in the White House.
Well, we certainly know that there's at least one person outside the White House who's pointing fingers at Jared Kushner, and that's Steve Bannon, who continues to Street Journal, is that the expansiveness of Mueller's investigation, if he's looking.
I'm allowed to video. I'm allowed to video. This is public, man. Sorry, people video you. What? Yeah, sure. You can video me too. This is huge for us. He's in public.
Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment below. Moon Dog out.